created using Powtoon.
my sense of direction, and I needed some strength and protection. Walking away with you, I go walking away with you. And when I'm faced with a tricky temptation, I abandon the whole situation. Walking away with you, I go walking away with you. Oh, what a fail-safe plan, just walking hand in hand. And I go walking away with you. If I didn't have you to turn everything to, then where would I turn? There've never been more than a single breath away. I have never felt so much security knowing you're with me. And I'm so glad to find the reason that I'm happy sad, since you tore it all away. And I'm so glad, though it hurts to know I'm leaving everything I ever thought that I would be. Once I held it in my hand, it was a kingdom made of sand. Then you blew it all away. I can't believe that I can say that I'm glad. Take my life, a living sacrifice, knowing it's the least that I can do. Make my life a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to you. On the cross you took our place, but we don't deserve your grace. We want to praise you in every way we can. But you didn't walk away. You didn't have to say I love you, but you love me just the same. Oh, you didn't have to try. You didn't have to die to save me, but you saved me just the same. Waited so long, but I knew all along that I needed you. It took me some years and some pain and some tears, but you pulled me through. Waited so long, but I knew all along I needed you in my heart. And I wonder why I didn't love you from the start. It's a miracle, it's a miracle, it's a miracle happened today. It's a miracle, it's a miracle, the stone and he rolled it away. I've been walking on a cloud, I never had so much reason to be proud. I couldn't be any higher than I am, don't ever want down from your love. I've been walking on a cloud, I never had
Hello folks, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I just want to share my story with my situation back in 1981 in the United States Marine Corps. I was sitting in a chapel during boot camp, and a chaplain tapped me on the shoulder and asked me to come into his quiet room. As I was walking into his quiet room, I had no idea what he wanted from me. It was then that God was setting my life in motion. So the chaplain sat me down and he says, Ralph, I've noticed that you like to help people, you motivate people, you're always walking around with a smile. And I wanted to know, this is the chaplain saying this to me, I wanted to know, Ralph, would you like to volunteer and become a lay leader? And of course, I had no idea what a lay leader was. So he explained to me what a lay leader was. It's somebody that is a liaison between the recruits and the chaplain. So when the recruits have issues, problems, or anything like that, they go to the lay leader, and they go to the chaplain as the lay leader to let the chaplain know of the situations that are happening. It was then in 1981 that God already had a plan for me, and when there from that point on was that God realized that no matter how long it would take for me to achieve what God already knew what was going to happen to me, He would let me go down into the worst extremes in life. So from 1981 as a lay leader, and I'm going to show you the medal now with a lay leader, the front and the back. This is the back of the medal, and then the front looks like this. So in 1981, at Paris Island, South Carolina, when I became a lay leader, God already had my life set in motion. But again, He wanted me to set my own course in life. So I went down the years and the course of my life and did some of the worst things possible to my own body through alcoholism. God already said to Himself, well, I'm going to wait for Ralph to get close to hitting rock bottom. So from 1981 until 2011, which is 30 years, God came to me again and He said, Ralph, are you ready to continue helping other people? That's when I formed Mastic Beach Outreach 2011, and what that was is for older people and mentally and physically challenged people, that my wife and I would help them by giving them clothing, food, possibly, like in one case, tires for someone's car. And so God said, okay, he is getting better, but he's still not ready to do what I really wanted him to do. So in 2011, I continued my alcoholism to the point of 10 to 15 shots a day. As time went further, two years down the road, it became worse and worse with my alcoholism. In 2013, God finally put His big hand on my head and says, are you ready now? That is when I hit rock bottom. June 22nd, 2013, I reached out and I finally admit that I had an alcohol problem. It was then when God lifted me up and set my life in motion for today, September 2nd, 2014. So from 2013 until 2014, I continue educating myself and you, others, through my websites, through my videos on how to battle with addiction. And God saw this, and He said to Himself, Ralph is still continuing helping people. So in between 2013 and 2014, as time was going by, and I proved to God that I was really reforming myself, that God introduced me to Dr. Luis Gonzalez. I had been toying with the idea about becoming a substance abuse counselor until I ran into an article about recovery coaching. So I thought it was very ironic that God had planted Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point, that's StartingPointMN.com, 844-414-8444, into my life. Dr. Luis Gonzalez gave me the educational programming to turn me into a recovery coach. So while I was training for Dr. Luis Gonzalez to become a recovery coach, and today, my father comes from South Carolina to visit, and we're looking at my shrine, which my wife calls a shrine, which is all my Marine Corps ribbons and medals. And my father asked me, Ralph, what is this medal for? What is this particular medal for? And I then said to myself, here's where it all came together. I finally realized what that medal stood for and how it influenced me in my life. It was back in 1981 that God knew already that I would eventually, towards the middle or 60% of my life, be out to help other people, to continuously help people, to motivate people, to coach people. So it was from 1981 to 2011 that I ran my life to the ragged ends, to the pit of the worst. And then from 2011 to 2013, even worse than that. And then June 22nd, 2013, finally helped myself up with the grace of God. And in 2014 became an addiction recovery coach. And all that epiphany came to me due to my father asking me what this stood for. This particular silver medal. When he asked me that, it all finally came together, that God had bigger and better plans for me. And this is what I'm telling you, folks. There is a plan for you. No matter what the plan might be, you don't know what it is, but there is a plan for you. It's just a matter of you figuring it out. So why don't you let me help take your life back? Thank you. God bless you, and have a sober day. Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today is September 4th. It's about 3:30 in the morning. I just wanted to share with everyone something this morning. I saw a demonstration maybe about a month ago in reference to our dark side and the power of prayer. If you continuously pray over and over and over again, things will eventually become clear. Although a lot of times when we pray to God, we don't get answers right away. But if you continuously pray over and over, things become clear. So the demonstration involves this bottle, and if you see, the inside of this bottle is all dark liquid. That represents our dark side. And this cap represents our limitations. So we as a human, which is the bottle, have limitations, which is this cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bottle into the sink, and we're going to do a demonstration. So let me put that there. I'm going to turn the camera around so that everybody can see it. And hopefully you folks can all see it now. Okay, so you see the bottle. I'm going to turn the water on. Okay, so now everything inside is dark, which represents our body and our inside. And what I'm going to do, and this clear water represents our prayer. So you see the continuous water running. I'm going to now, as the prayer, as we're praying, I'm going to lift our limitations, which is the cap. And we're going to slowly add our prayer to this. We all go through dark times. I mean, I've had some dark years. I just didn't understand everything that was happening. I'm going to admit it that I'm not a super patient person. I tend to want answers right away and know what's happening and what I can do to solve it. I don't like not being happy and confident about things. It's just not who I am. But when I get down, it takes a lot for me to get back up. If we pray for a sign, which is this, the water is prayer, but just give up because we feel like God's already heard our prayer and He knows what we need, but He hasn't answered. It's kind of like when we were kids in the toy store and we kept asking our mom and dad for toys, but we never got any results. Yeah, it never worked for me either, but you get what I mean. Anyway, that is exactly what's happened to me in the past years. I have prayed and prayed and prayed, but haven't really gotten any results. The answer I thought God would give me, and especially in the time of frame, I thought my problems would be fixed, which was all before 2013. Then in 2013, my cap of limitations was lifted. This is the cap, remember this now, was lifted off the bottle, which is my body. Here is where I will just show you how that worked for me. So basically we all have dark sides, which is what's in the bottle, was in the bottle. We are facing, and we take the limitations off our mind, which was the cap I lifted. Don't limit what He can do, because we have to just trust in the Lord. That sometimes even after we pray and we just give up, and it is often why we get defeated. However, even though nothing has really changed, we just keep praying. That's the prayer, the sign of the prayer, the flowing Lord. Just keep praying and never ever give up praying. And if we do that and devote ourselves completely to the Lord, He will pull us through. The dark times will go away, and we just have to be patient. I know it's hard. Being patient truly is a virtue. But by never ever giving up on prayer, it's going to show you that God will eventually answer all your prayer. And the more we pray, which is this water going into the bottle, one day everything will become clear. You see how clear this is now? That is the power of prayer. Folks, I think that demonstration says it all. If we had a bottle which represents our body, and the bottle, everything was dark on the inside, and the water coming out of the faucet represents the prayer, day after day after day, just keeps adding to the darkness which was in the bottle. Eventually, all that prayer has to turn what was dark inside this bottle, which is our body, has to change and become as clear as this water in here. That, folks, is the power of prayer. Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show. Today we're going to talk about when teens lie about drugs. I have 6 tips for you parents, for you grandparents, and for you legal guardians. So today's topic is going to be covering when teens lie about drugs and alcohol abuse. But first, as always, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. Dr. Luis Gonzalez will walk with you for your addiction to your recovery, hand in hand, 24 hours at a time. He will never, ever talk about your past. He's not a counselor or a therapist. What he is an addiction recovery coach. He really is concerned about today's progress and how you're going to tackle tomorrow. One day at a time, like the good old saying in sobriety, 24 hours at a time. Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. You can reach him at 844-414-8444. Also, on the other side of his business, he can turn you into an addiction recovery coach. I went through his educational schooling. I graduated. I've been an addiction recovery coach. I love what I do, and you have to have a passion to do it. You have to have a personality to do it, and you have to have you have to be professional about doing it. And you have to have some sort of addiction background, whether it's maybe dealing with your own or maybe helping a family member. But if you have those 3 and you have some sort of addiction background, call him at 844-414-8444. That's Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. The MN stands for Minnesota. Go on the web, search him, Google search him at www.startingpointmn.com. That's Dr. Luis Gonzalez, 844-414-8444. Tell him that you heard about him on the Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. GlobalEyeglasses.com, they are focused on saving you money. They have frames that start as low as $6 and go up to about $49 or so. Those frames, or those prices, include standard, clear, non-coated, plastic, regular prescription, single vision lenses. They include a cloth and a case. If you're going to ask me, what about progressives? They have them. They have line bifocals. They have transitions, photochromatics, tinted glasses. They have polarized glasses. They have the thinner lenses. They have frame styles that'll make Elton John want to shop at GlobalEyeglasses.com because they are focused on saving you money. Folks, if you have any questions about how to order from GlobalEyeglasses.com, text me at 631-599-0218, or you can use my hotline, 844-405-HELP. I will help you place your order at GlobalEyeglasses.com. And also, folks, I am in the optometry field for 30 plus years, so I can advise you the best way to order your glasses. I will make sure that you can see, because I want you to be able to see my show at www.Take Your Life Back Today show on YouTube, or Google search my show. Go to my websites. I have www.clearviews.info. The info stands for 411. It's all the information on addiction and recovery. Go to www.Take Your Life Back Today show, and you'll get to see all the latest things about my show. Folks, today we are going to talk about when teens lie about drugs. These are 6 tips that I want you to know as parents. But first, before we start, I want to make sure you get a pen or a pencil ready, because I have a website that I really urge you not just for yourselves, but for society itself, to go and get in touch with, to find out everything you need to know on how to avoid your children to possibly go towards drugs and alcohol. That website, and I'll repeat this at the end again, is www.drugfree.org. That's DRUGFREE.org. That's drugfree.org. For more information on substance abuse, you can just go there. And I will repeat that. But number one on my list of things that teens will lie about is you need to trust your instincts. You know, they always say a parent's instincts are the most important. Many parents discount their concerns about their child's behavior. They say things like, I'm overprotective. I don't want to be hopping on everything. They might even say things like, am I being hypersensitive about the situation? But trust your instinct. If it, you know, there's an old saying, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. So if your kids come home and they look like they have issues at hand, your instincts might be telling you that there is a problem. And I'm telling you right now, folks, if your instincts are telling you that, more than likely there is a problem. Number two on my list of 6 tips for parents on how to find out if your kids are lying about drugs is you need to educate yourself. Kids don't come home slurring or have bloodshot eyes because they weren't using drugs and alcohol. So if you see your children with bloodshot eyes, or if you hear their words slurring, more than likely you need to go back to number one and trust your instincts. At least not at first. They will possibly not come home slurring their eyes or having bloodshot eyes, but if they get comfortable enough getting away with it in your home, they will come home, and you need to pick up on that. There might have been sagas at school that caused them peer pressure to start drinking and using alcohol. So you need to go to www.drugfree.org and get all the information you can and educate yourself, educate yourself, educate yourself. Number 3 on my list is don't take it personal. Folks, parents, grandparents, don't take it personal if your kids are doing drug and alcohol. It's not because you failed. It's because they are testing the waters. They are falling for that peer pressure entrapment. If you find out your kids are lying about drugs, you may see red. You may feel hurt. You might feel angry. You might feel used. You might feel that they let you down, but you need to understand the situation. Put yourself back into their shoes. I'm not saying when we were growing up there was a big drug epidemic as it is today. But I will tell you, sitting here before you, I humbly tell you that I began drinking very early in my stages of life. Maybe not due to my own choices sometimes, but when offered, even as a child, even if a parent or a grandparent might be kidding around and they hand you a shot of something, the addiction is set in motion. Please do not take it personal. Do not feel hurt. Do not feel angry. Do not feel guilty. What you should feel is that you need to come up with an action plan to help your child. Number 4 on my list is, folks, you need to get help. A lot of parents keep their children drug-free within the family because they don't want to talk about it. They feel as if it is a private matter. Like a disease or broken bones, substance abuse needs medical help, and it also needs to be addressed. So folks, do not hide, do not push things under the carpet. If there is a situation where you need to address the situation outside the family, that's what you need to do, because if you don't, things will progress to get worse, and I'm telling you right now, they will get worse, and I don't want them to become one of the statistics. You need to strap up your boots, lace up your bootstraps, and stand straight up and tackle whatever situation you have at home. Number 5 on my list is leave room to build trust. When parents don't trust their kids, drug abuse can snowball. So if, in other words, if you constantly criticize your child and you don't trust anything they do, that will put extra stress on your child. It will cause a snowball effect, and it will get worse. That I can tell you. Parents need to build a safe space for the child while also defining boundaries within the home and outside the home. Your child should feel most comfortable with you telling you anything. You know, it's funny because I was told, my wife and I always told our children, no matter what you do, if you come to us and tell us before the police do, we have an opportunity within our family to deal with it. I am not saying we are going to run. What I am saying is we can come up with an action plan as a family to find out how best to deal with the situation at hand. It could be drugs, it could be whatever. I would hate to even use the worst scenario, but it has to be where a child feels comfortable enough to come to you, the role model, the hero in the house, before the police do. Number 6 on my list, and the last one, is expand parent styling. Parent styles include warmth, compassion, understanding, yet also the boundaries, again, need to be set. You need to let your children know this is what we will tolerate in this house and this is what we won't. But on the other hand, if your child comes to you and tells you they have an alcohol and drug problem, worst thing to do is to jump on their back about it. You need to show that compassion, warmness, and understanding and deal with the problem. If this number 6 and they come to you with a problem, you will have to go back to number 4, and that is to get help. Folks, almost everybody's insurance plans include counseling and therapy, and worst scenario, maybe in your case, in your family, you might need rehab. But you need to absolutely take heart to these 6 tips, because teens will lie, not about drugs and alcohol, but about anything. So it is up to you to educate yourself. Let's address each and every one more time. The first and foremost is trust your instinct. If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. So if you see your children acting differently, more than likely your parental instincts is telling you there's a problem. Don't feel that you're overprotective. Don't feel that you're hypersensitive. Feel like it is your job to be that parent to take care of it. Number 2 is you need to educate yourselves. If your kids come home slurring words with bloodshot eyes, there is a situation going on. They might not come home that way at first, but as often as they come home and you don't say anything, is as often they think they got away with it. So you need to educate yourself and find out how to tackle this problem best. Number 3 is don't take it personal. Folks, if your kids are lying to you, I'm not condoning lying, but I am saying it is a natural thing for a child to do, because they don't feel comfortable to tell you, and even if they do tell you, they might not want to stop doing drugs and alcohol. So don't take it personal. Don't feel angry, hurt, or guilty. What you should feel is that it is your job to take the bull by its horn and now take care of the problem. Number 4 is you need to get help. You need to go to www.drugfree.org and educate yourself. A lot of parents keep their children's drug abuse within the family. You need to go outside the family. You need professional help, such as counselor, therapist, drug addiction coach like myself or Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point. But you need to get help outside your family. Number 5, you need to leave room to rebuild trust. Although they might have lied to you, and although they've done their drug and alcohol, you need to let a new foundation within your home, within your relationship with your child, build up again. And that will only happen if you let go of what happened in the past. And this is why it's so important that I always say, when I do a commercial for Dr. Luis Gonzalez and for myself, is that him and I Never ever talk about your past. And you as a parent cannot hop on bringing up your child's past constantly because it's counterproductive. You need to focus on today and the problem at hand. By bringing up the past, what you're doing is you're just opening up an old wound, and children or anyone become defensive. So please leave room to rebuild the trust. And then last but not least is that you need to expand your parental styling. Parent styles include warm, compassion, understanding. Parent styling should eliminate the yelling, the screaming, the profanity, hopefully not the physical abuse. So change your parental styling. Remember, a sober day, or I should say sober today, makes for a better tomorrow. That is guaranteed. If you are sober today, your tomorrow already is going to be better because you're not going to wake up with the hangovers. You're not going to wake up not remembering what happened. But that's only if you're sober today. Another situation by being sober today is that your liver is starting to get a little better. Your brain, your heart, things are starting to relax a little bit more. And sometimes there are folks in life that maybe have gone too far. I don't like to talk about people. I certainly will never mention a name, but I spoke to a gentleman, a friend, who's been drinking for so many years. And we spoke last year when he kind of got off to drinking, but then he got back on, and it does happen like that in life. And this particular incident now, I hope, has hope in his eyes because he went to the doctor, and the doctor gave him a scare. And of course, this particular friend of mine is now very upset about what the doctor said. And my only word to my friend, and I know you're watching me, I don't want to mention your name, but you know who you are. I am telling you, no matter what your doctor told you, you are here today alive. You still have a chance for change. Whatever the medical conditions are, deal with them. And I'm saying that with compassion, and I'm saying that with love. Deal with them. But you cannot ever, and I'm telling you with this scare, you can't go back to drinking. If you have those cravings, I sent you information on medication that's out there, my friend, that is available for people to cut down on the craving of drinking. But I told you in this particular email yesterday, you need to lace your bootstraps up, and you need to finally say, I've had enough. But I'm telling you right now, my friend, you need to reach for your higher power, because you will not be able to beat this on your own. And I understand you don't want to face people and you don't want to go out, and it's not because of any other reason than your medical report, and of course you're ashamed of it. I went through it, I've been there, I've done it. The minute things start changing and things become more positive in your life, make it a mission, make it a passion to go out and help others, because you will be helping yourself. That I can guarantee you. And I hope and I pray that you, my friend, will get better, and I hope and I pray that the medical report that you received hopefully shows some sign of hope to get better for yourself. In other words, I hope to God that your medical conditions can improve. As far as liver, heart, blood pressure, all that will hopefully start improving with each and every day that you are sober. I understand now you've been sober since Friday. I think that's what you said. You need to make sure you don't have a relapse. And if you do, and this is directly to my friend, if you do, call me, 844-405-HELP, or you can call me personally on my cell phone or text me at 631-599-0218. I've been watching and following your progress from last year on when you gave up drinking. And for a while we lost touch there because I am not one to push people. They come to me for help, I advise, I try to help, but I do not push because I know what it's like for people to push. But anyway, my friend, please get better. Folks, if you think positive, positive things will happen. And parents, you need to please, and I mean please, go to www.drugfree.org. These are the 6 tips for parents to work on to counteract your teenagers lying about drugs and alcohol. Folks, if you're watching me in your kitchen, in your living room, homeless shelter, jail, wherever you might be watching me, and you are ready to make a change because you just heard about my friend's story of 38 years of heavy drinking and the reports that he got from the doctor. If use that report, use that testimony as a template for you. Make the changes today. I am telling you, I've said this over and over and over 365 episodes now, that not all of us are guaranteed a tomorrow. I might never ever do a show again because my expiration date has arrived. I hope I can. I hope I'll be here. But it's not guaranteed. And for the people that continuously keep drinking, saying tomorrow's the day when I'll quit, tomorrow might not be here. It might never show up. Make the changes today. Stop denying you have a problem. Like number 4, to get help. Treat your alcoholism, your drug addiction, like it was a broken bone, like it was a disease, because it is a disease. And the only way to conquer a disease or work with a disease and conquer and work with broken bones is to get medical help. So if you're watching me, stop denying you have a problem and get medical help. But just as importantly, you need to have some sort of hope. For my friend that I just spoke to, you also need hope. And the only hope that I can tell you right now is from God, your higher power, because He will guide and direct you. I use this example all the time. Your body is like a ship. Your mind is like the captain. You will never, as the captain, take your ship into any rough ocean without navigation. Well, folks, we are all in the situation we are because we can't sometimes navigate our lives perfectly. So if I'm the ship, if I'm the captain, this is my ship, and I need navigation because I've abused drugs and alcohol, I will have to reach to my navigation, and that's your higher power. Ask God to guide and direct you. God will never send your ship into any rough ocean, and if He does send you in the rough ocean, He will make sure that you're safe, that you'll have smooth sailing, and then you'll have a better outcome than if you don't have that navigation. Folks, I am telling you right now that what the higher power gives you is that light at the end of the tunnel. It's something to hope for. It is something to shoot for. God will walk with you step by step. So between medical help and your higher power, you hopefully will find a sober ending to your story. But it has to start today, and it has to start now. And once you have accepted that you have a problem and you've reached for your higher power, now it's time to figure out what is the best way to conquer and work with your recovery. Will it be hiring an addiction recovery coach? Will it be calling me for advice at 631-599-0218 or 844-405-HELP? Will it be going to someone with massive amount of experience like Dr. Luis Gonzalez with 30 years experience? Call him at 844-414-8444. Call him there. Tell him that Ralph sent you. He has so much experience that he will definitely help you, and hopefully you will get the guidance and direction from wherever you go to make you a sober person. You might come to a point where you need rehab or some sort of treatment. Do that. Rehab and treatment centers take insurance, as most of them do. And if you don't have insurance, seek your state's website and find out what is available for low-income people. Also, you can go to AA. They have this 12-step program. But no matter what you do, with everything that I mentioned, what you cannot do, and this is directly to my friend, what you cannot do is go back to your old ways. It is counterproductive. It is not going to work. You need to move forward. And moving forward can only happen with your acceptance that you have a problem and your higher power. And with that said, you need to come up with that action plan. Folks, it is so important that you adhere to a strict regimen. There's a fine line between sobriety and drunkenness, a fine line between sobriety and drug abuse. Do not step over that line ever again. Once you make that leap to sobriety, stay sober. Life is still good sober. Life is still fun sober. Life will come to an end if you continuously abuse drug and alcohol. Stop doing it, please. If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your family. Do it for your wife, your husband, your grandparents, your children. Do it for someone that you care about, because they truly need you in their lives. If you've come to a point where you're ready to give up, don't. No matter where you are, if you're sitting there still breathing, still blinking your eyes, you're doing better than some people in the world that are closing their eyes for the last time and breathing for the last time. You still have a chance for hope. You still have a chance to fight. But you have to take the bull by its horn, and it has to be done today. Not tomorrow, but today. It should have been done yesterday, but we never talk about the past, you remember? So it has to be done today. Folks, please remember that a sober today makes for a better tomorrow. And if you start thinking positive, positive things will happen in your life. Stay away from the negative people, the people that will only tell you how you used to be, how bad it was, how terrible you were, or the people that find fault in you. Stay away from those people, because if you constantly get negative thoughts into your mind, you will not think positive. You have to think positive. Positive thoughts like, I am sober for a week. Positive thoughts like, I reached my higher power. Positive thoughts like, I'm going to go to a nursing home or a homeless shelter and help fellow addicted people with my story, because you're a real person with a real story. Make it a passion. No matter what, never ever go back to the old ways again. And please, everybody, say no to drugs and alcohol, and educate your children to say no as well. And parents, please go to www.drugfree.org. Get the information that you need to move on. Please, everybody, I beg of you to have a great day, but more importantly, please have a sober day, and may God bless you.